Hey, better late than never. Sorry about that. YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, that was the problem. YouTube is being right, see you next Tuesday today. Welcome to Score Special, Dead Air Media Football. I'm Jenny Harrington. What have we got on the way today? Well, we've got Carabao Cup matches, EFL Qualifiers, or EFL Cup, 3. Carabao Cup matches, Champions League Qualifiers, rather. This fucking YouTube thing's throwing me off. Fuck YouTube, by the way. I hope you're well. By the way, if you're pissed off that it said Saturday and not special, I can't really do anything about that. I don't have a graphics department. 'Tis just me. Welcome to the stream. I have an ice pack on my back. And trying to keep cool throughout this stream is going to be very, very challenging. I'll be honest. I am wearing my Swindon shirt somehow, but we're there. We're there. Oh, how are you? I hope you're well. Multi-chat. Let's have a read. What we got in there? We'll go through some of the fixtures today. As you can tell, as always, I am scrambling with a mad dash to do shit because, well, I was busy trying to make sure YouTube worked. The YouTube stream worked. We're live on Twitch and YouTube, by the way. It's probably easier to watch us on Twitch, to be honest, because, in my opinion, 'tis the better platform. That's what you get, YouTube, for failing to let me log in and monetize. You piece of shits. Anyway. Oh, it's a hot one in the UK. I never do this on the sports streams. We seem to take things a little bit more seriously, but let's do this.
Come on.
It is well hot.
Might be too hot.
Might be.
Game of the day is going to be between Gillingham and AFC Wimbledon. I say game of the day. I mean game of the evening, really. Because that is where we are at with the EFL Cup and Champions League qualifying matches. We'll go through some of the scores in a moment. As always, I want to go live, and yet everything technology-wise is going wrong for me. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Because we have a few games that are already underway. You know, some of the kickoffs already are starting now, but Champions League qualifiers. Carabao have won 5-1. Currently, Fenerbahce are 4-1 up against Feyenoord of the Netherlands. Copenhagen, FC Copenhagen, are 5-0 up against Malmo. That's Denmark 5, Sweden 0. Paphos 2, Dynamo Kyiv 0. Victoria Peltsen 2, Rangers 1. Rangers 4-2 up on aggregate on that one. Club Brugge 0, RB Salzburg 2. Means it's 2-1 on aggregate. Come on, Bruges. Get your backside in order. Get your heads out your asses, boys. That's what we're looking for. And hopefully... fingers crossed, one of the Red Bull teams can be knocked out. Ferencvaros 0, Ludogorets 0. Slovan Bratislava 0. Kairat 0, wherever they are. 1-0 up on aggregate. Benfica 2, Nice 0. That's an aggregate score, 8 p.m. kickoff, and it's an 8 p.m. kickoff. 3-1 on aggregate for Red Star Belgrade against Lech Poznan. League Cup matches then. Swansea City 1-0 up against Crawley. That's coming up to half-time. Our game of the day is Gillingham AFC Wimbledon. So if you hear the sound of Gary Neville having an orgasm, there is a goal in that game. If you don't know what that sounds like, cover your ears.
To give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
That there is the sound of Gary Neville having an orgasm. Early on in the EFL Cup matches, there was also Scottish Challenge Cup matches to talk about as well, which we will keep an eye on for you. Bradford City have taken the lead against Blackburn Rovers, and Accrington Stanley are 1-0 up against Peterborough. So Bradford City of League One leading Championship Blackburn Rovers by 1-0. And Accrington Stanley, I was told off at the weekend for doing the Milk advert. Who are they exactly? I won't be doing it today, although I just did it, so, you know. They've taken the lead. League 2 Accrington taking on League 1 Peterborough United. 1-0 to Aki Stanley. Doncaster are 1-0 up against Middlesbrough. They're away at the Riverside. Some earlier kickoffs include the Barrow Preston game, Newport and Millwall, Stockport and Crewe. They're about a quarter of an hour in, about 15 minutes in there. Tranmere and Burton haven't kicked off yet for some reason. Don't know why, we'll find out why. Mansfield have just taken the lead as well. So Ibu Traore with the goal. Ibu Toure with the goal for Bradford City, 1-0 up after 2 minutes. Alex Henderson with the goal for Aki Stanley against Peterborough United. And Reece Oates with the goal for Chesterfield. Club Brugge have got an interesting goal back in the Champions League. That makes it 2-2 on aggregate between Club Brugge and Red Bull Salzburg. Feyenoord have got a goal back against Fenerbahce. Toshuyu Watanabe with the goal on the 89th minute of that one. What does that do to the aggregate score? I know for the Bruges Leipzig Salzburg match, it's 2-2 on aggregate. But that goal for Feyenoord makes it 5-4 on aggregate between Fenerbahce and Feyenoord. So they would still need another goal to level it. Remember, away goal rules don't count anymore in the Champions League. There's no such concept anymore. Forget about it. Also, there is one Europa League match between Shelbourne of the Republic of Ireland and Rijeka of Croatia. I'm definitely butchering that one. There is also National League Cup matches as well, so we will have a look at those. We'll keep an eye on those ones as well. Not going to focus on the English non-league, but there is Scottish Challenge Cup matches to keep an eye on, so we'll have a look at those ones as well. In the National League Cup, half-time, Boreham Wood 0, Nottingham Forest under-21s 0, and it is Aldershot 0, Brighton under-21s 0. These were all earlier kickoffs. So we're at half-time in the National League Cup. Mostly. So we'll go through those in a moment. Half-time for Swansea. They're 1-0 up against Crawley. Bristol City 1, MK Dons 0. There's just been a goal at Ashton Gate. I'm just going to find out. Tranmere and Burton Albion. That has not kicked off for some reason. We're going to try and find out why. It's postponed. Hang on. Why? I have not seen this. Postponed on X. Why was it postponed? Come on, tell me, you stupid freaking internet. Very slow. Power outage at Prenton Park. About 10 minutes before the game was due to kick off. So a major power outage. It's been postponed. A new date. They're not even going to try and kick it off at 8 o'clock. Match postponed, Tranmere Rovers and Burton Albion due to a power outage, of all things. A power outage forcing a game in the EFL Cup to be postponed. How bizarre. How bizarre. So that's one EFL Cup match that's off today. A match postponed between Tranmere and Burton. It's finished 5-0 to FC Copenhagen and Malmo between those two clubs, which means the Danish club, obviously winning by 5-0, have completely thrashed them and go through to the next round. Goals for Bradford City. They're 2-0 up now against Blackburn Rovers. Will Swan with a 4th-minute goal. Montrose have the lead against Dundee B team. That is in the Scottish Challenge Cup, which is effectively their EFL trophy. And Bristol City are 1-0 up against MK Dons. Jason Knight with a 6th-minute goal in that one. Hearts B have taken the lead away at East Fife. And Queen of the South are 1-0 up against East Kilbride. Let's tell you the half-times in the National League Cup. Only one game going on. That's Brackley Town and Blackburn Rovers under-21s. Doncaster have got a second goal against Middlesbrough. And as I say, Brackley Town and Blackburn Rovers under-21s. Brackley Town have taken the lead. But the half-times in the National League Cup, Aldershot 0, Brighton under-21s 0, Boreham Wood 0, Nottingham Forest under-21s 0, Boston United 0, Leeds United under-21s 0, Braintree Town 1, Leicester under-21s 0, Scunthorpe 2, Sunderland under-21s 1, Solihull Moors 1, Everton under-21s 0, Sutton 0, Fulham under-21s 1. That's a nice London derby for them. Wealdstone 2, Wolves under-21s 1. And it's currently, after a goal, Brackley Town 1, Blackburn under-21s 0. A goal for Heart of the Midlothian B. That was scored by Tommy North on the 6th minute. Queen of the South's goal, Curtis Guthrie with the 8th-minute goal there. Damola Ajayi with the... Ajayi? Damola Ajayi, 23rd-minute goal, makes it Doncaster Rovers 2, Middlesbrough 0. Doncaster Rovers away at the Riverside, motherfuckers. Ferran Varos have taken the lead against Ludogorets. Baranbas Varga with the 38th-minute goal for the Hungarian side. Bad news is that Oxford United have taken the lead against Colchester United. I don't even feel like I could say that in my Swindon Town shirt. Tyler Goodrum with the goal for Oxford United. On the 9th minute of the match. And Fenerbahce have got a 5th goal. Fener's has got a 5th. That means, if that is correct, if it's 5-2, that means it's 6-4 on aggregate. And Fenerbahce are through. And the Dutch club Feyenoord are out of the 3rd round of qualifying for the Champions League. Fenerbahce 5. Feyenoord 0. Game of the day, Gillingham or game of the evening, Gillingham 0, AFC Wimbledon 0. You might ask how we pick our games of the day. We pick them at random. We pick them out of a hat. No. Tashila with the goal on the 95th minute for Fenerbahce against Feyenoord. 5-2, which means it's 6-4 on aggregate, and it means Fenerbahce are heading through to the next round of the Champions League. We will catch up with the football headlines as well. Big news over the last couple of days is that Crystal Palace will not be in the Europa League. They'll be in the Conference League after failing to overturn the decision from UEFA to expel them, to relegate them effectively from the Europa League to the Conference League for breach of multi-club ownership rules, which is quite frankly hilarious given that John Texera has nothing to do with either Crystal Palace or Lyon anymore. I'm pretty sure he's trying to sell Lyon as well because they've got massive financial problems. To which he has responded by going, it's not my fault. Yet he's been touted as a reported saviour of Sheffield Wednesday. If I was Sheffield Wednesday fans, I'd be very wary of John Texter. I say Texter. Like the dog. Like the robot dog. Everton have completed the signing of Jack Grealish from Manchester City on loan. He's got the number 8 shirt, the number 18 shirt, which Wayne Rooney wore quite famously in that goal against Arsenal. And a certain Geordie lad also wore it, called Paul Gascoigne. Norwich City have taken the lead away at Watford. Josh Sargent with the 10th minute goal there. Wigan Athletic 1-0 up against Notts County. Paul Mullin with the 10th minute goal. And Clyde are down to 10 men. Tommy Robson sent off on the 10th minute of the match. I'll confirm the Brackley Town goal scorer, Connor Hall, against Blackburn under-21s in the National League Cup, because that's not coming up on the video print of the National League Cup matches for some reason, which is slightly disappointing. Stenhouse Muir 1-0 up against Rangers B. We've got the Scottish Challenge Cup, but not the National League Cup. Okay. Stenhouse Muir 1-0 up against Rangers B team. Scott McGill with the 13th minute goal. Fenerbahce through then to the 4th round of Champions League qualifying, the next round of the Champions League. Fenerbahce 5, Feyenoord 2, 6-4 on aggregate. I believe there's one more qualifying round. Rangers, despite that 2-1 defeat to Victoria Pelsen, are 4-2 winners. So we got a few matches as well tomorrow in the Champions League, but we've got another round of playoff matches, which has Celtic and Basel in it at the moment, and Karabag as well. So it will also have Rangers and Fenerbahce in it in the final playoff round to qualify for the UEFA Champions League. Just a reminder, a power outage at Prenton Park has forced the postponements of the Tranmere Rovers Burton Albion EFL Cup tie in the first round. So that match is postponed. Grimsby have a chance against Shrewsbury. 14 minutes in. They're in the ascendancy there. We'll keep an eye on that one. So they might just score. In fact, they have. Grimsby Town 1. Shrewsbury Town 0. Elsewhere, my own team, Cardiff 0. Cardiff City 0. Swindon Town 0. Grimsby's goal, by the way, you'll see it on the video printer now. Justin Ameluzo. That's what I'm going with. 15 minutes in. 1-0. My goodness. Let's be honest today. It's been very hot in the United Kingdom. It's not been the greatest day, if you've wanted to remain cool. There has been a goal. And I've suddenly... Oh no, that was the one we told you about with Grimsby. Ignore me. Ignore me, please. At your very best. In terms of other news from around football, Newcastle striker Isak still determined to join Liverpool. Alexander Isak has said that he's adamant he will never represent Newcastle again. I hate to say it. What an ungrateful git. Is that bad of me to say? It's like, okay, Newcastle set very clear parameters that they would only let you go if they could sign a replacement. Problem is, you're at Newcastle and no one wants to go to Newcastle. So, how are you going to achieve leaving the club if they cannot sign a replacement? He ain't going to play for them anyway, so I don't know why they're... If they sell him, then maybe they'll just get, what was it, 120 million they want, or that's what was rejected? So they might as well just sell him at this point, because they're not going to use him. He's already said he doesn't want to play for you. You might as well sell him at this point. Bromley and Ipswich have only just kicked off, apparently. in their EFL Cup match. That's the only 8 p.m. kickoff. I'm surprised that Tranmere and Burton didn't try and delay their kickoff until 8 with the power outage, but it doesn't look like it would have worked, so they've postponed that match. Celtic's B team are 1-0 up against Clyde. Callum Osmond with the goal on the 15th minute of the match. Kickoff in the Champions League qualifiers between Benfica and Nice, Red Star Belgrade and Lech Poznan of Poland. Slovan Bratislava 1, Kairat Almaty of Kazakhstan. That was butchered. Half-time. Almaty, there you go. I've got to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of Kazakh football. So, although I do follow the only undefeated team in all of world football in its entire history, which is the Turkmenistan champions of Asian football. Champions League then. Lots of full time to bring you. Karabag 5, Shenjia 1, 6-1 aggregate victory for Karabag. Fenerbahce 5, Feyenoord 2, 6-4 victory for the Turkish team, so they're through to the final playoff round of the Champions League. Copenhagen 5, Malmo 0. 0-0 after the first leg, so it's a 5-0 aggregate win. Paphos 2, Dynamo Kyiv 0. It's a 3-0 win for Paphos then on aggregate, the Cypriot side defeating the Ukrainians. And Victoria Pelsen 2, Rangers 1. But don't worry, Rangers fans, you're still in the Champions League because you won 4-2 on aggregate. So you join Celtic, your arch rivals, in the playoffs. It'd be nice to have 2 Scottish teams back in the Champions League. We haven't had that in a very long time, so hopefully they can. National League Cup, Fulham under-21s have gone 2-0 up against Sutton United in the National League Cup. In that London derby that no Fulham fan will care about. Sutton United 0, Fulham under-21s 2. Do you care about who scored? We'll find out. We'll get you this goal scorer because it won't turn up in the video printer because no one who is doing the video printer obviously cares about the National League Cup. East Kilbride have levelled it against Queen of the South. Lewis Dobby with the 19th minute equaliser in the Scottish Challenge Cup. There's a chance for Grimsby Town against Shrewsbury. Or Shrewsbury. I once asked a Shrewsbury fan whether it's Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury, and they went, "Are you trying to get me cancelled?" They're a radio presenter as well. Grimsby Town have a chance against Shrewsbury. We'll give you an update on that one as soon as we guess it. They're on the ascendancy. They're in the attack in that match. I think it's pitted out into nothing, that one. So it remains Grimsby Town 1, Shrewsbury 0. Still 0-0 in our game of the day. Gillingham and AFC Wimbledon. League 2 versus League 1 in the EFL Cup. QPR have a chance here at Plymouth. They're away at Home Park. Championship, League 1, Plymouth versus Championship, Queen's Park Rangers. I'm trying to get some match commentary so I can hear what's going on. But there is a goal. There has been a goal for Queen's Park Rangers. They are 1-0 up. Plymouth Argyle 0. Queen's Park Rangers 1. In the EFL Cup at Home Park. And unfortunately for me, in my Swindon shirt, Cardiff City have just taken the lead. I have a sound effect for that. Where is it?
Bugger.
Yeah, there we go. No goals in our game of the day. It's Gillingham 0, Wimbledon 0 so far. We'll get you that Queen's Park Rangers goal scorer. And it was Daniel Benny, the Australian, with the goal for Queen's Park Rangers. Plymouth Argyle 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. And we know that Cian Ashford, I can't read. I can't read the I. Kian Ashford, the Irish way of spelling Kieran. Kian Ashford. 21st minute goal. Cardiff City 1, Swindon Town 0. For fuck's sake. Peterhead have taken the lead against Aberdeen's B team. It was an own goal from Jamie Mercer, who put it in his own net. And while Celtic's B team are winning in the Scottish Challenge Cup, which is effectively their EFL trophy, their trophy for League One and League Two teams to participate. Where Celtic B are winning, Rangers are doing a Rangers and losing. Stenhousemuir 2, Rangers B 0. Archie Graham with the goal on the 23rd minute of the match. Montrose have taken a second goal against Dundee's B team in the Scottish Challenge Cup. Owen Loudon with a goal. All underway again in the second halves of the National League Cup. Only one game in the first half, and that's Brackley Town and Blackburn under-21s, where it's Blackburn 0. And it's going from bad to worse for Sutton United in the National League Cup, because it is now Sutton United 0, Fulham under-21s 3. Not... Definitely not the performance Sutton United would have wanted to put in against an under-21s team. Are the under-21s teams from the Premier League better than the National League teams? Why, yes. The majority of them are. Boston United have taken the lead against Leeds under-21s. It's 1-0 there in the National League Cup. Challenge Cup, Scottish Challenge Cup. Clyde down to 10 men against Celtic's B team. Thomas Robson, we told you about that, I think, a little bit before, but just to remind you of that one. Clyde down to 10 men. Celtic B have a goal. They're 1-0 up in that Scottish Challenge Cup. Shelbourne 0. Rijeka, which is how we're going to pronounce this Croatian team, 0 in Europa League qualifying. Norwich have got a second against Watford, but there's a penalty at home park. But for who? Chris Kamara.
I don't know, Jeff.
I don't know, Jeff. Penalty kick for Plymouth. Hey, Ballum, I know you did this at the weekend. I was at a match, I think, Aylesford in Kent. Are you using football web pages for updates? Yes, we are. Marcelino Nunes with the second goal for Watford. For second goal against Watford for Norwich City, 24th minute. The goal has been the penalty. Has it been scored? Has it been missed? Penalty for Plymouth against Queen's Park Rangers at home. And Jamie Patterson's going to take it. It is a penalty to Plymouth. We know that. Jamie Patterson's going to take it. They just don't know what the delay is in taking it, but hey-ho. Club Brugge 2. Red Bull Salzburg 2. And that means RB Salzburg are out of the Champions League. Thank fuck for that. If they can see it through, that means they're out. I would love RB Salzburg to get knocked out of the Champions League. Very warm day. Yes, in fact, Ballum, it's
Not hot.
It is well hot.
Might be too hot.
Might be
too hot. Plymouth have missed a penalty. Jamie Patterson missed his penalty on the 26th minute. It remains Plymouth Argyle 0. Queen's Park Rangers 1. Club Brugge were playing Rangers. Oh, is that how it's gonna? I haven't seen the permutations of the playoffs and where all the teams are gonna go. I know someone's got to play Celtic as well. Charlton are 1-0 up against Stevenage. Oh, not many people. Well, there is the fan-led Austria Salzburg still. I think they play in like the second tier or the third tier. This is how I'm keeping cool. An ice pack on my back. I'm about to stick it in between my shoulder blades, so let me shove my tits in your face. Oh, goodness me. Grimsby Town have missed a penalty against Shrewsbury. Oh, Jamie Walker misses the opportunity to make it 2-0 to Grimsby Town. It remains Grimsby 1, Shrewsbury Town 0. My goodness. Aki Stanley, the one and only. Who are they exactly? I said I wouldn't do that, but no, I've ended up doing it. Club Brugge 2. Red Bull Salzburg 2, we covered that. Aki Stanley 2. Peterborough United 0. Kesley Mooney with the 25th minute goal. And Charlton Athletic 1-0 up against Stevenage. Miles Lieben. Sounds very German, but he's not, with the goal. So we've had 2 missed penalties. We've had a missed penalty for Grimsby and a missed penalty for Plymouth. And, well, we're at a point midway where I'm trying not to melt with 2 massive lights pointing at me with an ice pack between my shoulder blades. Celtic B are 2-0 up away at Clyde in the Scottish version of the EFL trophy. Sean McGardy with the goal with the 27th minute. Dundee United's B team are 1-0 up away at Stirling Albion. Montrose are 3-0 up against Dundee's B team. That's very hard to read when they're on top of each other. Cambridge United are 1-0 up against Bristol Rovers. Lincoln City have just scored away at Harrogate. Lewis Apire with the goal for Cambridge United away at Bristol Rovers. And we'll get that Lincoln City goal confirmed to us in a moment. But yes, it's Bristol Rovers 0. Cambridge United 1 and Harrogate Town 0, Lincoln City 1. That's what, League 2 versus League 1. And then it's an all League 2 clash between Bristol Rovers and Cambridge United. Jack Molan with the goal on the 29th minute for Lincoln City. So there we go. And that's just come up on the video printer as well. So there you go. Harrogate Town 0, Lincoln City 1. Still 0-0 in our game of the day, which maybe we picked the wrong one. Feels very winnable for Rangers in the next round. Well, you know what? I would never underestimate Rangers' ability to fail and fall flat on their face. I would never underestimate that. In the same way this season, I will not underestimate the idea of Celtic throwing away the league title like they did when Steven Gerrard won the league title with Rangers, because that really was Celtic throwing it away and not Rangers being the better team. And I'm pretty fair when it comes to, I'm a Hibs fan. Although if you gave me a preference, it would be Celtic over Rangers. Wrexham have scored against Hull City at the Racecourse Ground. It's 1-0. And Elliot Lee with the goal on the 31st minute for Wrexham. A reminder that the Tranmere Burton Albion game is postponed due to a power cut at Prenton Park, meaning that they couldn't get the game on because the floodlights didn't work. They got lucky. I still say Rangers got lucky that season. I think if Celtic had played well that season, they could have easily have beaten them. And that, considering that they absolutely sucked the following year, indicates I still think Scottish football, where it is right now, it is Celtics to throw away rather than Rangers to win. In our game of the day, AFC Wimbledon have the chance to take the lead. I might be playing the sound of Gary Neville having an orgasm in a moment. Gillingham 0, AFC Wimbledon 0, but AFC Wimbledon are in the ascendancy. It's League 2 Gillingham versus League 1 AFC Wimbledon in the Carabao Cup first round. We'll stick with that game of the day, because get ready for it. This is the most heartbreaking sound, or basically it's ear bleed if you don't like the sound of Gary Neville having an orgasm. Prepare yourselves. Gary Neville's having an orgasm.
Chelsea, a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
Antoine Hackford with the goal for AFC Wimbledon. They're 1-0 up away at Gillingham. Did you like the sound of Gary Neville having an orgasm? I assume that's what he's doing. It sounds like that's what he's doing. Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 2 at half-time. We're approaching the 60th minute mark in the National League Cup matches. Thank you for saying the Tranmere Rovers match stuff. Hibernian have a small friendship with AFC Bournemouth. Hearts have a similar one with Brighton and Hove Albion. Real Madrid say, this is La Liga, where Real Madrid are saying no to the United States game. Basically, La Liga want to have a game in the United States. Like the NFL have their special European matches, and the NBA are apparently going to have a match in Manchester at the Co-op Live this season. And I think Major League Baseball have a game at the London Stadium as well, the home of West Ham United and the 2012 Olympic Games. Coming up to some halftime, still Swansea 1, Crawley 0, 61st minute gone in that one. Some of the halftimes coming in for the earlier kickoffs of the EFL Cup. We're not going to actually have a halftime break because a lot of the games will be back underway. So it's half-time. It's Barrow 0, Preston 0, Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 2, Newport County 0, Millwall 0, and Stockport County 0, Crewe 0. So and Reading have taken the lead away at Portsmouth, which would be Reading's first win of the season. 34th minute goal. Both League One teams, aren't they? I'm pretty sure. Although I'm saying that off the top of my head. Is Club Brugge over now? Are they in the last couple of minutes? Club Brugge, let's have a go. Where are you? 90. Let's click on the match. Final minute of added on time. It's 2-2. There you go. Final minute of added on time, and it looks like RB Leipzig, RB Salzburg are heading out. Yes. Fuck Red Bull. I prefer Coca-Cola. Or, actually, they're not sponsoring me, so Madri, tastes like Carling. As we all know, Carling is shit. Benfica have taken the lead against Nice in the Champions League qualifiers. Portuguese club lead the French side by a goal. 10-0. That's just gone in. Goal at Charlton. They're 2-0 up against Stevenage in the EFL Cup. Frederick Arusnus with the goal for Benfica. That is horribly pronounced. 18th minute goal. Andre Garcia with the goal for Reading against Portsmouth there. In the Europa League, the Irish club Shelbourne 1-0 down to Rijeka. That's what we're going with. Tony Fruch with the 33rd minute goal there. But Benfica 1-0 up in their Champions League game with Nice. Charlton Athletic 2-0 up against Stevenage, and the second goal for Charlton was scored by Ibrahim Fuller on the 36th minute of the match. Video printer should update soon. Why do you hate Red Bull? Because it tastes like shit. Genuinely, Red Bull tastes crap on its own. The only time it ever tastes good is with Jägermeister. Drink more, kids. Actually, to all the adults out there, think of it this way. If you keep drinking, there'll be less alcohol for the kids. And that way, you're stopping teenage drinking. That's how I justify it anyway. Braintree are 2-0 down. I might have a problem. Braintree 2, Leicester under 21s 0 in the National League Cup. 2-0. Looking bad for Morecambe. We shall see what happens by next week. Well, apparently, Jason Whittingham was having a meditation session with the prospective new owners this week. I think tomorrow. Which sounds like the biggest load of bullshit ever. Yes, I'm going to sell you this football club after a meditation session. Relax, deep breaths. No, I don't think that's happening. I think I think that's the distinct sound of bullshit coming from Jason Whittingham. But then that's not the first thing of bullshit that he's said. Club Brugge are 3-2 up right at the end of the game. My goodness, RB Salzburg are out. 94th minute, literally the final seconds of the match. Hans Van Aken with the goal. Montrose 4-0 up against Dundee's B team. Not good for Braintree Town being 2-0 down to Leicester's reserved. Effectively, yes. Wrexham 1, Hull City 1. Oliver McBurney with the equaliser for the Yorkshire club. Dumbarton 1-0 up against St Mirren's B team through Scott Tomlinson. And then 15 minutes later, I don't know why we're getting that now, they've gone 2-0 up against St Mirren's B. Maybe a delay in reporting of that goal, of those two goals. But they are 2-0 up in the Scottish Challenge Cup. Reading are 2-0 up away at Portsmouth. How do I say that one? Kelvin Ibatimahan. That is what I'm going with. You can't... I really need to learn these players' names. Yes, you're all right, Ballum on YouTube. Over on YouTube. Red Bull Salzburg were indeed 2-0 up, and they lost to Club Brugge. They absolutely were. I wonder. Yeah, they were. They were 2-0 up, and they are now 2-0 down, which is, quite frankly, freaking hilarious. I wonder if I can get the YouTube chat to actually turn up on the screen, because at the moment I think it's just working for the Twitch chat at the moment, which is slightly annoying. I don't know if I can integrate the Twitch chat over. That's the wrong chat box. Anyway, we'll get to that in a moment. Swansea are now 2-0 up against Crawley Town. 67th minute, approaching the last 20 minutes of that one. 2-0 between Swansea City and Crawley Town. Full time. Red Bull Salzburg were out of that one. Yes, probably. Well, we only do mini soccer Saturdays. Well, we don't have pundits, so we'll do a podcast later on in Saturday nights once the Premier League's back. Dundee United's B team 2-0 up away at Stirling Albion. And Oh, my screen's gone in front of me. That's very good. How do we... I need to add something to this. To get the... I want to get the YouTube chat up. So I'm doing technical things whilst also trying to watch games. We'll try and do it at halftime. Montrose 5-0 up, by the way, against Dundee's B team. 5-0. 5-0. And for the first time ever, I've got my studio door open so anyone can walk past at any point. Because it's that fucking hot. We got the overlays. I just want to get the... I just want to get the YouTube chat on it. That's all I want. I don't know how I can do that. Okay, Bella. See you later. See you later. Boreham would have 1-0 up against Nottingham Forest under 21s in the National League Cup. And Challenge Cup. That's up in Scotland. Clyde 0, Celtic B's 2. Celtic B teams 2. Cove Rangers 0, Spartans 0, Dumbarton 2, St Mirren B 0, East Fife 0, Hearts B 1, East Kilbride 1, Queen of the South 1, Elgin 0, Inverness 0, Forfar 1, Hibernians B team 0, Gelte Hearts 0, Annan Athletic 0. Oh, I sounded proper London then. Athletic. It's athletic. Montrose 5, Dundee B 0, Peterhead 2, Aberdeen B 0, Stenhousemuir 2, Rangers B 0, Stirling 0, Dundee United B 2, and Stranraer 0, Alloa 0. And Celtic's B team have gone 3-0 up away at Clyde as well in the Challenge Cup. That goal's just gone in, and Benfica are 2-0 up in their match in the Champions League against Nice. Yeah, no, I don't know if Rangers... I don't know if Rangers will beat Club Brugge. I don't think so. I hope they do, but I don't think so. Fulham under-21s are 4-0 up away at Sutton United in the National League Cup. And Sunderland under-21s have come from behind to level it against Scunthorpe United in the National League Cup. It's 2-2 there. They were 2-0 down in that match. And Sunderland's under-21s, or Sunderland's reserve team, basically, have equalised. How this format works differently from the EFL Trophy, because that's an under-23s team, this is an under-21s team. I think that it should be the under-18s that participate in the National League Cup, if you can do that. But that is how they've done it. Probably are using a lot of their under-18s. Benfica, we've told you, are 2-0 up. Andreas Schudlup, probably shit pronunciation there, 27th minute. And Samuel Iziguzu. Once again, shit pronunciation, 43rd minute. Fuck me, I can't say fucking footballers' names. East Fife have levelled it against Hearts B. Maybe I should just fucking give up and get a real job. Fulham under-21s are 5-0 up away at Sutton United. And suddenly, I have to play the world's smallest violin for Sutton United fans. Sutton United 0, Fulham under-21s 5. Goodness me. That is an absolute spanking of the highest caliber. That's why I can't do it. Fuck Twitch. We started the stream by saying fuck YouTube. Well, we're going to continue it by saying fuck Twitch. Because I can't merge the chat of YouTube and Twitch. QPR are 2-0 up against Plymouth. Remember, Plymouth on the 26th minute missed a penalty to level it. And now they are 2-0 down, approaching half-time in that watch. Ryan Coley with the goal. QPR 2-0 up there. And missing a penalty. And fuck off. Cardiff City 2, Swindon Town 0. Can I hide the badge? No, I'm not embarrassed to be a Swindon Town supporter. Ruben Colwill with a goal on the 47th minute of the first half. Cardiff City 2, Swindon Town 0. League 1 Cardiff City 2. League 2 Swindon 0. A League 1 team is beating a League 2 team. Not surprising. East Fife have levelled it against Heart of the Midlothians B team. Reserves in the Challenge Cup. Mamadou Ba with the 45th minute goal. Crawley Town have got a goal back against Swansea on the 73rd minute. It's Swansea City 2, Crawley Town 1. That was the earlier kickoff in the EFL Cup. I was about to say Mamadou Ba sounds like a place to take your ma. Mamadou Ba. Aldershot sounds like a pub for your mum. Aldershot 1. Brighton under-21s 0. In the National League Cup, they've got a goal as Aldershot take the lead. That's Hampshire versus Sussex. I mean, I guess it's a derby. It's as close as you're gonna get. That Monza Internazionale game is a friendly, by the way, I believe. So you can ignore that one. Whilst we've got a lull, let's have a look at some of the standout fixtures of English non-league. And I'm more interested in the Southern Premier League, South, where Gloucester are 1-0 up against Hungerford. About Supermarine, where are they? Oh, their league. They've gone so far down the league pyramid that their league is no longer listed. They're a league below Gloucester. Half times: West Brom 0, Derby 0, Watford 0, Norwich 2, Plymouth 0, QPR 2, Cardiff 2, Swindon 0. Everton have just levelled it away at Solihull Moors in the National League Cup. It's Solihull Moors 1, Everton under-21s 1. And it's half-time, Brackley Town 1, Blackburn under-21s 0. That isn't annoying at all. Our game of the day, half-time, is Gillingham 0, AFC Wimbledon 1. And now is a good time with all those half times in, and we'll recap the scores in a moment, to tell you about the football news headlines today, which is starting with that Everton have completed the loan signing of Jack Grealish from Man City. 29-year-old becomes Everton's 6th signing of the summer, and will wear the number 18 shirt made famous by Wayne Rooney, and before Wayne Rooney, Paul Gascoigne. Liverpool are stepping up their bid to sign Crystal Palace centre-back Mark Gay this summer. Now that Palace are not in the Europa League, he might want to leave. Not that the Europa League is really that attractive a competition to play if you're a top player that could go to a Champions League club. Alexander Isak still determined to join Liverpool and has said he will not represent Newcastle again. At this point, you might as well sell him, even though you haven't replaced him. And, of course, we've mentioned Crystal Palace being demoted to the Conference League. They have said that sporting merit is rendered meaningless after losing their appeal against demotion from the Europa League to the Conference League after winning the FA Cup last season. I think it's unfair. I think they should be in the Europa League. I don't think Nottingham Forest should be in the Europa League because they get promoted. Nottingham Forest should be in the Conference League. Plus, Nottingham Forest could win the Conference League. I don't think Crystal Palace will. I mean, they could go on and win it. They could prove me wrong, but I don't think they will. Because I think they're going to lose some very good players before the end of this window. Primarily, Eze. I think they're both going to leave Palace before the end of this window. I just... Yeah, I've got a feeling that that's what's going to happen. I just got this feeling that that's generally the destination of travel for Crystal Palace. Right, let's have a look at the scores. And we're going to start with the Champions League, where it finished Karabakh 5, Shinjia 1, Fenerbahce a 6-1 win on aggregate, Fenerbahce 5, Feyenoord 2, FC Copenhagen won 5-0 against Malmo, Copenhagen 5, Malmo 0, Paphos 2, Dynamo Kyiv 0, 3-0 win on aggregate for Paphos. Victoria Pilsen 2, Rangers 1. Rangers get a 4-2 win on aggregate. Club Brugge 3, RB Salzburg 2, which means Salzburg are out of the Champions League. Thank God for that. Those games are still being played. Ferencváros and Ludogorets, Slaven Bratislava, as well as Benfica and Nice, and Red Star Belgrade and Lech Poznan. EFL Cup, Carabao Cup first round matches. A number of them in the second half. Swansea City 2, Crawley Town 1 on the 82nd minute. That's coming to its conclusion. That was the early kickoff in that one. I think that was a 7 o'clock kickoff. Barrow 0, Preston North End 0, Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 2, 53rd minute, Newport County 0, Millwall 0, Stockport County 1, Crewe Alexandra 0, 51st minute of that one. To the half-times then in the EFL Cup, Accrington Stanley 2, Peterborough United 0, Blackburn Rovers 1, Bradford City 2, Blackpool 0, Port Vale 0, Bristol Rovers 1, MK Dons 0, Bristol City 1. That's where the confusion lies. 2 Bristol teams in a row. Bristol City 1, MK Dons 0. Bristol Rovers 0, Cambridge United 1. Bad luck for my team. Cardiff City 2, Swindon Town 0. Not the result I want. Charlton Athletic 2, Stevenage 0. Chesterfield 0, Mansfield Town 1. Coventry City 0, Luton Town 0. Gillingham 0. AFC Wimbledon 1. Grimsby Town 1, Shrewsbury Town 0, Harrogate Town 0, Lincoln City 1, Leyton Orient 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0, Northampton Town 0, Southampton 0, Oxford United 1, Colchester United 0, Plymouth missed a penalty in this one, Plymouth 0, Queen's Park Rangers 2, Portsmouth 0, Reading 2, Salford 0, Rotherham 0, Stoke City 0, Walsall 0. The Tranmere Burton Albion game was postponed due to a power cut, and it could not be rectified, so that game did not go ahead. Watford 0, Norwich 2, West Brom 0, Derby 0, Wigan 1, Notts County 0. Half time at Wrexham and Hull. Wrexham 1, Hull City 1, and we're still in the first half of the later kickoff. Bromley 0, Ipswich 0. We will have a look at the National League Cup. Group A, where it is Solihull Moors 1, Everton Under-21s 1. Brackley Town 1, Blackburn Rovers Under-21s 0. Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest Under-21s 0. Braintree Town 2, Leicester City Under-21s 0. And Wealdstone 2, Wolves Under-21s 1. To Group C and Group D, We have Aldershot Town 2, Brighton and Hove Albion under 21s 0. Sutton, fucking hell for Sutton United. Sutton United 0. Fulham under 21s 6. My God, they've hit them for a boundary. Boston United 3, Leeds under 21s 0. Scunthorpe United 2, Sunderland under 21s 2. They're 2-0 down, the Sunderland team were. Scottish Challenge Cup, which is effectively their League Cup. Their EFL trophy. Clyde 0, Celtics B Team 3. Clyde down to 10 men in that one. Cove Rangers 0, Spartans 0. Dumbarton 2, St Mirren B 0. East Fife 1, Hearts B 1. East Fife 1, Hearts B Team 1. East Kilbride 1, Queen of the South 1. Elgin City 0, Inverness Cali Thistle 0. For Athletic 1, Hibernian Reserves 0. I'm just going to call them the reserves. Kelty Hearts 0, Annan Athletic 0. Montrose 5, Dundee Reserves 0. Peterhead 2, Aberdeen Reserves 0. Stenhousemuir 2, Rangers Reserves 0. Stirling Albion 0, Dundee United Reserves 2. And Stranraer 0, Alloa Athletic 0. There's no point in having a half-time break because some of the games are still going on. So, and there have been a few goals whilst we were recapping everything, including a goal for Stockport County. They're 1-0 up against Crewe Alexandra in the second half of that one. In fact, they're 2-0 up within the space of 3 minutes. Carl Wotton with the goal on the 49th minute and Nathan Lowe on the 52nd minute. Crawley down to 10 men right at the end of that game towards, they got a goal back in that one. But Gavin Houlihan has been sent off. Unlikely a comeback is going to happen for them. Brighton under 20. Oh, God. Brighton under 21s have taken the lead away at Aldershot. That's not why I'm going, oh, God. All I can do, Sutton United, man, all I can do is this sound. This is all I can do. Because you guys are the next level of shit. Sutton United 0. Fulham under 21 7. Oh, Sutton United. They were in the EFL not too long ago. And now they're losing 7-0 to Fulham's under 21s. Sutton United 0. Fulham Tiddlywinks 7 once again. Can we just have a moment for Sutton United? 7-0 down in the National League Cup to Fulham under 21s. That's heartbreaking. That's whoa. Who'd want to be a Sutton United fan after that? Not me. Definitely not me. Goodness. 7-0. It's 7-0. That's embarrassing. No offense, Sutton United fans. Oh, a lot of the games at halftime. We're not going to have a break because there are still games going on, and you can just see that's turned up on our video printer. It's Bromley 1, Ipswich Town 0. That is League 2 beating the Championship. Bromley 1-0 up. Deji Elaware with the 45th minute goal. And you're going to see a penalty being scored for a team that's going to come up in their Serbian name, but it is Red Star Belgrade that are 1-0 up against Lech Poznan. And Daye with the penalty just before half time. So Red Star Belgrade are 1-0 up against Lech Poznan, or Cervinja Zvezda. I'm not Serbian. Shoot me. Game of the day is back underway, or game of the evening. It's Gillingham 0, AFC Wimbledon 1 in that one. It's half-time now. It's Bromley 1, Ipswich 0 in the later kickoff in the EFL Cup. I don't like these staggered kickoffs. I really don't. I just pick a time and just stick to it, lads. Just kick off at the correct time, please. It's either 7:30 or 7:45. 7:45 would be preferable because then I don't have to start the live stream till 7:30. I could start it at 7:15. Just pick a time. No more staggered starts. Wait till the EFL trophy kicks off and they start kicking off at 7 p.m., which is something they do and I don't like. Still at halftime in a lot of the games, so we'll crack on as they kick off. That Monza Internazionale match is see there I said Krevnovic. I can't say the Serbian name of Red Star Belgrade. That's what I can't do. But that Monza Internazionale match, most definitely a friendly. Most definitely a friendly. Second half underway in a lot of these matches as they are just about kicking off. Blackpool, Port Vale, Harrogate and Lincoln, where it's 1-0 to Lincoln City. And Blackpool 0, Port Vale 0. Champions League then. Let's just focus on that. In the slightly earlier kickoffs, we have got a few results from the Champions League that we gave you earlier. But approaching the 75th minute in the Ferencvaros Ludogorets match, where it's Ferencvaros of Hungary 1, Ludogorets of Bulgaria 0. Slovan Bratislava 1-0 up against Kerit Almaty of Kazakhstan. That's on the 75th minute. Approaching half-time in the Benfica-Nice match. That's 2-0 to Benfica. And then Red Star Belgrade approaching half-time. You can see it there. Crvena Zvezda. Not Serbian, but they've scored a penalty against Lech Poznan. It's 1-0. Second half of Shelbourne and Rijeka in the Europa League, where the Croatian side are leading 1-0. A goal in the National League Cup for Everton's under-21s. They're 2-1 up against Solihull Moors. Breaking news, Fulham have not scored another goal in their game against Sutton United. Millwall are 1-0 up against Newport County. Millwall of the Championship lead. League 2, Newport County, Ryan Leonard with the goal on the 60th minute in that one. Red Star Belgrade 4-1 up on aggregate, by the way, if you didn't know. So Everton under-21s have taken the lead away at Solihull Moors in the National League Cup. Stoppage time for Sutton United. For God's sakes, just put the lads out of their misery at this point. Just put them out of their misery, please. It's Sutton United 0, Fulham under-21 7. My goodness. Not the result anyone would have wanted at Sutton United's lose 7-0. Southampton are 1-0 up away at Northampton Town. Southampton and Northampton. Mateus Fernandes with the 48th minute goal, giving Southampton the lead in that one. Former Premier League club, Southampton, from last season. 1-0 up. Now Championship. Of course, that's Championship versus League 2. West Brom Derby, 0-0. Wigan Athletic 1, Notts County 0, Wrexham 1, Hull 1 in an all-championship affair in the EFL Cup. Sunderland have taken the lead against Scunthorpe in the National League Cup. Under-21s, I should say. Sunderland under-21s. Scunthorpe United were leading 2-0 against Sunderland under-21s, but Sunderland under-21s have come back to win it with a 92nd minute goal. Scoring just before half-time, their first goal, which was Ian Poveda, the Colombian, with the goal for Sunderland. And Jay Matete, the Englishman, with the goal. who's actually 24, so shouldn't be playing for an under-21s. It's a reserve team. But they've taken the lead on the 92nd minute of that one. Scunthorpe United 2, Sunderland Reserves 3 in the National League Cup, because it isn't National League Cup. It is a reserve team. Good news. Good news for Sutton United fans. It is over. You will not concede another goal against Fulham. It has finished Sutton United 0, Fulham under-21s 7. Wow. I feel sorry for Sutton United. Do you reckon they just went home at halftime? Do you reckon they... Well, they were 1-0 down at halftime, and I don't think they could have imagined at halftime being 1-0 down. I think we'll concede 6 goals in this half. 6 goals alone in the second half. They were 3-0 down by the 51st minute. And then as the 72nd minute, 4-0. 74th minute, 5-0. 81st minute, 6-0. 87th minute, 7-0. Sutton United 0. Fulham under-21 7. Jesus. How shit do you want to be? Elgin City 0, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 1. Alfie Bavidge with the 47th minute goal. And Swansea City have confirmed their place in the second round of the Carabao Cup with Ethan Galbraith's goal on the 94th minute. Swansea City 3, 10-man Crawley Town 1. So they are heading through. A goal for Ferencvaros against Ludogorets. 2-0 to the Hungarians, which will put them through to the playoff round. But it is Ferencvaros 2, Ludogorets 0. Half-time in the Champions League Qualifiers, Benfica 2, Nice 0. Red Star Belgrade 1, Lech Poznan 0. Plymouth Argyle missed a penalty earlier, but they've got a goal back against Queen's Park Rangers. And it's Brendan Weirdo with the 48th minute go. In that one. 48th minute go. I went very posh then for no reason. Plymouth Argyle missed a penalty earlier on in that match, but have got to go back on the 48th minute. It's Plymouth Argyle 1, Queen's Park Rangers 2 of League 1 versus the Championship. You can see that Ferencvaros goal will be coming up on your video printer very soon. Ferencvaros 2, Ludogorets 0. Barnabas Varga with the 79th minute goal in that one, and that is his second goal of the game. He's got 11 minutes to go score a hat-trick. Aberdeen's reserves have got to go back against Peterhead in the Scottish Challenge Cup. Jack Seary with the 49th minute goal for Aberdeen's B team. Stranraer 1-0 up, also in the Challenge Cup against Alloa Athletic. James Dolan with the 51st minute goal in that one. And there's been a goal for Grimsby Town. They missed a penalty earlier. They took the lead on the 15th minute, missed a penalty on the 27th minute. But now Cameron Gardner has made it 2-0 to Grimsby Town against Shrewsbury. It's Grimsby 2, Shrewsbury 0. Full-time, Swansea City 3, Crawley Town 1. And a flurry of full-times coming in from the National League Cup. Once they're all in, we will let you know, and it's the second half in the Brackley Town Blackburn Rovers under-21s match. It's 1-0 to Brackley. And we are awaiting half-time. Sorry, the second half to start in the Bromley-Ipswich match. And a reminder that the Tranmere Burton Albion game postponed due to a lack of power, a power cut. They're not Snap. They do not have the power at Tranmere Rovers. Power cut in Birkenhead, forcing that game's postponement. All the second halves are in action in the Scottish Challenge Cup. We'll alert you to those as soon as we get goals. Boston United are 4-0 up in the National League Cup against Leeds under-21s, basically a Leeds reserve team. Leeds under-21s 4-0 down away at Boston United in the National League Cup. Preston North End have taken the lead against Barrow. It's an own goal from Charlie Raglan on the 66th minute. Inverness Kelly Thistle are 2-0 up away in the Challenge Cup against Elgin City. Robbie Thompson with the 50th minute goal in that one. As I just continuously scroll the games to find the next goal. Boreham Wood 2, Nottingham Forest under-21s 0 in the National League Cup. Goal for St Mirren's B team. They've got to go back against Dumbarton 2-1. That's in the Challenge Cup. We'll get a confirmation on the goal scorer there in a moment, but 2-1 in the Scottish Challenge Cup. And we've got all the full times, just waiting for one more, and that's Aldershot and Brighton's under-21s in the National League Cup. Still half-time between Bromley and Ipswich, still 1-0 to Bromley. Half-time in the Champions League, Benfica 2, Nice 0, and Red Star Belgrade 1, Lech Poznan 0. That goal for St Mirren, by the way, their reserve team, Evan Mooney with the goal on the 55th minute. The St Mirren reserves getting a goal back. Dumbarton 2, St Mirren B's, or St Mirren 2, or St Mirren reserves 1. In the Scottish Challenge Cup. Waiting for the full time in the National League Cup between Aldershot and Brighton and Hove Albion's under-21s. Aldershot 1, Brighton under-21s 2. A couple of scouts for the National League clubs. Brackley have just gone 2-0 up against Blackburn under-21s in the National League Cup. Plymouth Argyle, who missed a penalty earlier, have levelled it against Queen's Park Rangers. Owen Assini with the goal in the 54th minute, and East Kilbride have taken a 2-1 lead at against Queen of the South. Lewis Dobby with the 57th minute goal. That's in the Scottish Challenge Cup. But Plymouth Argyle, who missed a penalty earlier in that game, have now levelled it. It's Plymouth Argyle 2 of League One, Plymouth Argyle, and of the Championship, Queen's Park Rangers 2-2 in that one. Full time in the National League Cup match, Aldershot have lost to Brighton under-21s in that one. Alloa Athletic have levelled it against Stranraer. Andrew Clark with the goal in the 56th minute in the Scottish Challenge Cup. Also staying with the Scottish Challenge Cup because Cove Rangers have taken the lead against Spartans. Aaron Darge with the goal on the 56th minute of the match. So just one game left playing in that National League Cup, and that's Brackley Town 2, Blackburn Rovers 1, and they're approaching the 60th minute because they're a later kickoff in that game. Challenge EFL Cup, rather. Still half time between Bromley and Ipswich, waiting for the second half to kick off in that one. That was the later kickoff. And the only full time we've got from that one is Swansea City 3, Crawley Town 1. Let's recap some of the full times from the Champions League then, where it finished Karabakh 5, Shenjia 1, 6-1 on aggregate to Karabakh. Ferenc Varos, who are playing, they're 2-0 up against Ludogorets, so I went down too far. Fenerbahce 5, Feyenoord 2. It finished 6-4 to the Turkish club on aggregate. FC Copenhagen 5, Malmo 0, 5-0 win on aggregate because they drew 0-0 after the first leg. Paphos 2, Dynamo Kyiv 0, so it's a 3-0 win for Paphos on aggregate. Victoria Pilsen 2, Rangers 1, finished 2-4 on aggregate in favour of Rangers. Club Brugge 3, Red Bull Salzburg 2, which means the Austrian club are out 4-2 on aggregate. It finished 3-2 on the day. And that is the results from the Champions League. Swindon Town have got to go back against Cardiff City. And it is their new boy. He only signed for him yesterday on loan from Southampton. Princewell Ibn Tioman. Ibn Tioman. I know how to pronounce it. I just fucked up. Princewell Ibn Tioman. I can't even say it now. I'm not even going to try. Princewell Ibn Tioman with the goal. 19 years old. Good player from Southampton. Announced yesterday that the club had signed him on loan. Darren Oldacre setting him up. It's Cardiff City 2. Swindon Town 1. League 1 versus League 2 at the Cardiff City Stadium. Coventry have taken the lead against Luton Town in an all-championship clash. Ellis Sims with the goal in the 57th minute. Mansfield Town 2-0 up away against Chesterfield in a... Is that Nottinghamshire versus Derbyshire clash? Will Evans with the goal in the 59th minute. Ferencváros 3-0 up against Ludogorets and very much heading through. Gabor Cesari with the goal on the 86th minute. Can Swindon Town get an equaliser? That'd be nice. As I'm in my Swindon shirt. I never wear my football shirts on stream. I never do it. Plus, there was that twat on TalkSport that said, "Oh, people shouldn't wear football shirts in public. Why would you wear your football shirt?" What a twit! An absolute twat. Luckily, I don't listen to TalkSport. Dumbarton 3, St Mirren B, or St Mirren Reserves 1. St Mirren Reserves recently got a goal back in that one on the 55th minute, and it was Evan Mooney with the goal for St Mirren on that 55th minute. But 61st minute, 6 minutes later, and Dumbarton are 3-1 up in the Scottish Challenge Cup. Lincoln City have gone 2-0 up away at Harrogate. That's League 1 versus League 2. And there's been a goal for Bristol City. They're now 2-0 up at home at Ashton Gate against MK Dons. We'll get confirmed goal scorers for those two games, but it's Lincoln who have got the second goal in that one, and it's Freddie Draper with the goal for Lincoln City on the 60th minute of the match. And Lincoln, yeah, that's now been confirmed on your video printer. Freddie Draper with the goal. And Bristol City's goal scorer, they're now 2-0 up against MK Dons. That was Yu Hirakawa, the Japanese player. Yu Hirakawa with the goal to make it Bristol City 2, MK Dons 0. And that should appear on your video printer very soon, hopefully. Yu Hirakawa with the second goal for Bristol City. 2-0 to the good against MK Dons in the EFL Cup. First set of fixtures from this season's tournament. Second half underway against Bromley, with Bromley and Ipswich. Bromley leading 1-0 against the Championship outfit. South London versus East Anglia. One game to keep an eye on in the National League Cup. That's Brackley Town and Blackburn Rovers under 21s is 2-0 in favour of the home team Brackley Town at the moment. There we go. That Bristol City goal confirmed for you. East 5-2, 2-1 up against Heart of the Midlothian Reserves. Nathan Austin with the 63rd minute goal in that one. So it's 2-1 in favour of East Fife in the Scottish Challenge Cup. Still half-time in those two Champions League early kickoffs, but approaching the end of the game between Ferencváros and Ludogorets, where it's 3-0 to the Hungarians. And Slovan Bratislava versus Karat Almaty of Kazakhstan, where it's 1-0 to the Slovakians. At the moment, we'll give you a full-time rundown of those when we get the full-time whistle in those matches. Stockport have gone 3-0 up against Crewe Alexandra, and it's Lewis Farini, Scottish 23-year-old, with the goal in that one. 3-0 in favour of Stockport, and that will come up on your video printer in a moment. Right foot shot from outside the box. There you go. Sounds like a worldie. Makes it sound like a worldie from that description. I guarantee you it's not. It's Stockport County 3, Crewe Alexandra 1. Lewis Farini with the goal, and that will be confirmed hopefully in a moment on your Vidi printer, but it is 3-0 in favour of Stockport against Crewe. EFL Cup round 1. Early kickoffs approaching the last 10 minutes. That's Barrow Preston, where it's Barrow 0, Preston North End 1. Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 2. That's a huge upset. Newport County 0, Millwall 1. And Stockport have just gone 3-0 up against Crewe. Those are the earlier kickoffs. You can see the goal scorer has been confirmed there on your Vidi printer. 3-0 in favour of Stockport. Those are the early kickoffs approaching the final 10 minutes of those matches because of the staggered kickoffs in the EFL today. Goals in the Scottish Challenge Cup. Inverness, Cally Thistle 3-0 up away at Elgin City. And Aberdeen's reserves have levelled it against Peterhead, where it is 2-2. Goal scorers to be confirmed, and if I don't read them out, they'll be on your Vidi printer. To my left, I guess. Left as you're watching this. Well, you know, that's probably the right-hand side, isn't it? So your right, my left. So there you go. It is useful having it sometimes. You can see that Inverness Cally Thistle goal, as those two goals have been confirmed in the Scottish Challenge Cup now. Tristan Stephen for Aberdeen's reserves and Paul Allen for Inverness Cally Thistle. Shrewsbury have got to go back. They're away at Grimsby. Grimsby were 2-0 up in that one and, of course, missed a penalty on the 27th minute of the match. They took a second goal on the 50th minute, but Shrewsbury are 2-1. They're 2-1 down now. Thomas Sang with the goal on the 63rd minute, giving Shrewsbury a lifeline in that one. Grimsby 2, Shrewsbury 1. Approaching the final 25 minutes in the National League Cup, Brackley 2, Blackburn under-21s 0. They're having a break at the Slovan Bratislava Karat Almaty match just before the end of the game. They are approaching full time in that one. Finished final score: Ferencváros 3, Ludogorets 0. So Ludogorets heading out of the Champions League at this point, at this stage. 3-0 win on an aggregate for the Hungarians, beating the Bulgarians by 3-0. It's 1-1 on aggregate between Slovan Bratislava and Karat, so it's extra time in that one. So that one's going to continue. We'll keep an eye on that one. Slovan Bratislava 1, Karat Almaty 0, but it's 1-1 on aggregate in that Champions League qualifying game between the Slovakian Slovan Bratislava and the Kazakh Karat Almaty. Both teams winning 1-0 at home in those games, meaning it's 1-1. And that one is heading to extra time. We told you about the Shrewsbury Town goal from Thomas Sang on the 63rd minute. And we seem to have a bit of a lull in play in the EFL. So we'll focus a little bit on the Scottish Challenge Cup with some Mirren reserves. I've got another goal back, reducing Dumbarton's lead back to a goal. Dumbarton 3, St Mirren reserves 2 on the 69th minute. Last time St Mirren scored, 6 minutes later, Dumbarton restored their 2-goal lead. It is now 3-2 in favour of Dumbarton, but St Mirren getting that goal back on the 69th minute of the match. Goal scorer to be confirmed very soon. The confirmation of that Ferencváros result, 3-0 win against Ludogorets, now on the video printer as well. So Ferencváros heading through to the next round. Lincoln City 3-0 up now against Harrogate Town, and Ipswich have come from behind against Bromley. It's 1-1 in the EFL Cup. The goal scorer for St Mirren reserves still not being confirmed. Still 1-0 in our game of the day between Gillingham and Wimbledon in the EFL Cup. That is League 2 Gillingham versus League 1 AFC Wimbledon. And a reminder that the Tranmere Rovers Burton match is postponed. Ben Johnson, by the way, with the equalising goal for Bromley. Fraser Taylor with the goal for St Mirren Reserves in the Scottish Challenge Cup on the 69th minute. Dumbarton 3, St Mirren Reserves 2. Middlesbrough now 3-0 down. That is a hell of an upset for Donny Rovers. Doncaster Rovers 3-0 up at the Riverside. Robbie Goats with the 84th minute goal in that one. And Lincoln City 3-0 up away at Harrogate Town. Rob Street with a goal on the 68th minute of the match. And West Brom in the ascendancy against Derby County on the 66th minute of their EFL Cup tie. We'll stay with that one because West Brom have just scored. West Brom have the lead on the 67th minute against Derby County. West Brom are 1-0 to the good on that one. Goal scorer to be confirmed, but West Brom 1, Derby County 0, and the goal was scored by Hegbo, the Norwegian 24-year-old for West Bromwich Albion, making it 1-0 against Derby County, giving them the lead. And Kelty Hearts are 1-0 up against Annan Athletic in the Scottish Challenge Cup. Innes Murray with the goal on the 72nd minute. So it's Kelty Hearts 1, Annan Athletic 0. Still Brackley Town 2, Blackburn under-21s 0 in the National League Cup. The only match still going on. The full times in the National League Cup include Aldershot 1, I'll start that again. Aldershot 1, Brighton and Hove Albion under-21s 2. Boreham Wood 2 for Nottingham Forest under-21s 0. Boston United 4, Leeds under-21s 0. Braintree 2, Leicester under-21s 0. At Scunthorpe 2, Sunderland under-21s 3. Solihull Moors 1, Everton under-21s 2. Sutton United 0, Fulham under-21s 7. And Wealdstone 2, Wolves under-21s 1. That is the National League Cup. And the only confirmed result from the EFL Cup finished Swansea City 3, Crawley Town 1. Crawley Town down to 10 men in that one. Watford have got to go back at home to Norwich. They're 2-0 down. Well, it's now 2-1. And Hull have a chance at the racecourse against Wrexham. Can they lead? Can they take the lead? Watford have got to go back against Norwich City. Will confirm the goal scorer as Kiwado Bar with the goal. The 22-year-old has got the goal. And Hull City have taken the lead. At the racecourse ground, it's now Wrexham 1, Hull City 2. I don't think this season's going to work out well for Ryan Reynolds and company. And the goal was scored by Joel Ndala, the 19-year-old on loan from Manchester City. Gets the goal for Hull City. Wrexham 1, Hull City 2. Still 1-0 in our game of the day in favour of AFC Wimbledon. They're away at Gillingham. League 2 versus League 1 there. And Athletic have got a red card. Keith Watson sent off on the 74th minute. 1-0 down to Kelty Hearts, away at Kelty Hearts. A goal for Stranraer against Alloa Athletic in the Scottish Challenge Cup. We'll get the goal scorer there. And Rangers reserves have got to go back against Stenhousemuir. Extra time in the Champions League between Slovan Bratislava and Kairat Almaty of Kazakhstan. 1-0 it finished in that match, but it's 1-1 on aggregate. Extra time needed in that one. Goal scorer for Rangers reserves to be confirmed as well for Stranraer in the Scottish Challenge Cup. Crew have got to go back against Stockport County. Emre Tizgel with the 86th minute goal. Ben Hutton with that goal for Rangers reserves against Stenhousemuir. And the goal that we thought had been scored for Stranraer has been disallowed. It is a correction there. It remains 1-1. Rijeka have taken a second goal away at Shelbourne in the Europa League. So the Irish team look to be heading out of the Europa League at this qualifying stage. Probably means they drop into the Conference League, I think. Approaching the final 15 minutes in the Brackley Town Blackburn Rovers under-21s match in the National League Cup, in the non-league portion of English football. A reminder then of some of the scores from earlier on from around the National League Cup. It finished Solihull Moors 1, Everton under-21s 2, Boreham Wood 2, Nottingham Forest under-21s 0, Braintree Town 2, Leicester City under-21s 0, Wealdstone 2, Wolves under-21s 1, Aldershot Town 1, Brighton and Hove Albion under-21s 2, Sutton United 0, Fulham under-21s 7, Boston United 4, Leeds United under-21s 0, Scunthorpe United 2, Sunderland under-21s 3. Not the score that you would have wanted there in that one. Brackley Town are 2-0 up, by the way, against Blackburn Rovers under-21s. There's been a goal for Port Vale away at Blackburn Rovers. We'll get the goal scorer from that one in a moment. We've got the goal for Rijeka confirmed, Thiago Dantas, knocking the Irish team out. And the goal for Port Vale is from Mo Fall, the Gambian player who is on loan from Wrexham. Gives Port Vale the lead away at Blackpool. It's just popped up on your video printer. Cambridge United have got a second away at Bristol Rovers in the League Cup. It is 2-0 in favour of Cambridge United. And the goal was scored by Ryan Loft. Ryan Loft with the second goal for Cambridge United. So it's Bristol Rovers 0. At Cambridge United 2. That'll pop up on your video printer soon, hopefully. Bristol Rovers 0, Cambridge United 2. Let's recap then the... we're approaching the final minutes. We're in stoppage time now. For 4 matches in the EFL Cup, it's Barrow 0, Preston 1, Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 3. That is a hell of a result for Doncaster Rovers. Newport County 0, Millwall 1, Stockport 3, Crewe 1. That is where we are at with those matches. And I got to be honest, I don't think my ice pack is helping anymore. I think that's pretty much melted at this point. I'm just going to have to accept being drenched in sweat in one of the hottest days in the UK. Horrid day. That Ryan Loft goal confirmed for you on the video printer now. 2-0 up, our Cambridge United away at the Memorial Stadium. Bristol Rovers. East Kilbride 3-1 up against Queen of the South in the Scottish Challenge Cup. Goal scorer will be confirmed in the video printer. I won't be focusing on the Challenge Cup matches for now. As we approach the last 15 minutes in the majority of the games of the EFL Cup, Bromley and Ipswich a later kickoff. Red Star Belgrade are down to 10 men. Approaching the 60th minute in their game against Lech Poznan, Rodrigo sent off. The issue is they're not going to lose it because they are 4-1 up on aggregate. So they're probably going through. It's still 1-1 on aggregate between Slovan Bratislava and Keret Almaty of Kazakhstan. 1-0 on the day. Jack Lech with the 80th minute goal then in the Challenge Cup for East Kilbride against Queen of the South in Scotland. And we're approaching half-time in extra time in that Slovan Bratislava Karatel Mati game. 1-0 in favour of Slovan Bratislava, but 1-1 on aggregate. No away goal rule in the Champions League anymore. Not that it would matter because they've both scored at home, so no one scored away anyway. So not that it would matter. What a redundant statement. Hello, my name's Michael Owen. Approaching the last 10 minutes in the Brackley Town Blackburn Rovers under-21s match in the National League Cup. Actually, you know what? I shit on Madry, but yeah, I think that actually tastes quite nice. Plymouth, who were 2-0 down against Queen's Park Rangers, are in the ascendancy here. It's 2-2 at the moment. But they have a chance now against QPR, and the play has broken down, apparently, in that one. Missing a penalty on the 26th minute to get a goal back. Jay Patterson with the missed penalty. It's been a goal. A goal for Plymouth as well. We were keeping an eye on that one. And it is 3-2 to Plymouth Argyle. Peterhead 4-2 up against Aberdeen's reserves. Kieran Shanks with the goal on the 77th minute in the Challenge Cup. Dundee reserves have got a goal back. They're 5-1 down away at Montrose. Chris Rooney with the 80th minute goal. So who has given Plymouth Argyle the lead? The League One team now leading 3-2 against Championship Queen's Park Rangers, while it's the Irish player Owen Aseni with the goal. Plymouth Argyle 3, Queen's Park Rangers 2, and it's just been confirmed on your video printer there. 3-2, and from a game that they were 2-0 down in. My goodness, Middlesbrough. What are you doing? They're 4-0 down at home. Tom Nixon with the 96th minute goal. Big scalp for Doncaster Rovers there. Charlton Athletic are 1-0 up against Stevenage. Luke Barry with the 77th minute goal there. There's a chance for Gillingham in our game of the day. There's also a chance for Hull City to go 3-1 up, and apparently they have. Wrexham 1. Hull City 3. Gillingham still in the ascendancy against Wimbledon. Can they get an equaliser? We'll confirm the Hull City goal scorer. Charlton Athletic have got a goal. They're 3-0 up against Stevenage. And Gillingham have reportedly equalised against AFC Wimbledon. Ethan Coleman with the goal. Luke Barry with the goal for Charlton Athletic as well. It's finished Stockport County 3, Crewe Alexandra 1. So it's 1-1 for Gillingham in our game of the day, which means I should have actually played this.
To give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
Ethan Coleman with the goal in that one. 3-0 to Charlton Athletic. We've told you about that one. For Hull City, the goal scorer was Crooks. Matt Crooks. And it's not been a great start to the new season in terms of League Cup for the Championship club. As Wrexham have played one, lost one. So now their second game of the season, and they are losing again. I don't think it's going to be a good season for Wrexham. I think they're low-key I think they might struggle. If they stay up, good on them. But we'll wait and see on that front. Not too confident on that. That might be the surprise result of the season if Wrexham get relegated. But 3-1 down at home to Championship Hull City. I mean, when was the last time Phil Parkinson coached in the Championship? That's what I'm trying to remember. I don't think he ever has. Or if he has, he's certainly not lasted very long in that level. I think the club maybe has... I definitely expect Phil Parkinson to get sacked this season by Wrexham. I do expect them to sack him at some point, I would say. East Fife 4-1 up against Heart of Midlothian reserves. Nathan Austin with the 85th minute goal. Stranraer 2-1 up in the Challenge Cup as well against Alloa Athletic. Saluturari with the goal there. Goal for Peterborough. They were 2-0 down at Accrington. It's 2-1 now. We'll get a confirmed goal scorer in a moment. What a result for Doncaster Rovers away at Middlesbrough. 4-0 winners. Archie Collins, by the way, with that goal for Peterborough United. And just as I say it, it turns up on the video printer. So there you go. Newport County have lost at home to Millwall by 1-0. But Doncaster Rovers losing 4-0. Sorry, Doncaster Rovers winning 4-0 away at Borough at the Riverside, motherfuckers. Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 4. What an insane scoreline. What a tumultuous scoreline, rather. It's an interesting one. I'll give it that. Big result there. Surprise result. Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 4. Into the last 5 minutes of some of the games on the majority of the games, but only one will carry on post those games, and that's Bromley and Ipswich. I wish they could have agreed a unified kickoff time. Dundee United reserves 3-0 up against Stirling Albion, by the way. And we're at half time and extra time between Slovan Bratislava and Kairat Almaty. 1-1. Dundee's reserves have got a goal back. They're 5-2 down now away at Montrose in the Challenge Cup. The goal scorer will be confirmed in the video printer to your the right hand side of the screen. Full times then. 3 to bring you. Barrow 0, Preston North End 1. Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 4. Newport County 0, Millwall 1. And Stockport 3, Crew 1 in the EFL Cup. That Dundee reserve goal has been confirmed for you there. Leo Howlett with the goal on the 87th minute of the match. Goal for Elgin City. They've got to go back. They were 3-0 down at home to Inverness, but they've now got to go back. It's 3-1. Shelbourne on the ascendancy in their Europa League qualification against Rijeka of Croatia. 2-0 down at home. Trying to get a goal back there. We await to see if they do. Elgin have got to go back against Invi. So we can confirm that one. National League Cup approaching full time between Brackley Town and Blackburn under-21s. Shelbourne have got to go back in that Europa League clash. Shelbourne 1, Rijeka of Croatia 2. And Elgin City, that goal scorer confirmed as Mark Gallagher. 85th minute, and the full time confirmed there, but we confirmed it quite a while ago that Doncaster Rovers have pulled off a bit of an upset away at the Riverside, motherfuckers. Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 4. So there we go. Brackley Town 2, Blackburn Rovers, Blackburn under-21s 0. Second half of extra time between Slovan Bratislava and Kairat Almaty underway now. It's still 1-1 on aggregate. Penalties could decide that one. If no one gets a second goal, of course. Approaching the end, stoppage time for Brackley Town and Blackburn under-21s in the National League Cup. That Shelbourne goal confirmed there on the video printer as we focus on the EFL Cup. A reminder of the football headlines for today and what's going on in the world of football. Everton have completed the signing of Jack Grealish on loan from Manchester City, a season-long loan. He'll have the number 18 shirt, worn, of course, by Wayne Rooney and Paul Gascoigne as well. Elsewhere, Crystal Palace, 2 stories about them. Liverpool stepping up for a bid to sign Palace's defender Mark Guéhi. And, of course, they've hit out at CAS's decision to basically confirm UEFA's decision to expel them from the Europa League into the Conference League due to the multi-club ownership rules, which, if you look at it on paper, is bullshit. Not that I'm a Crystal Palace fan, but it's bullshit. It's a smaller club that didn't think they were going to qualify for Europe, ended up winning the FA Cup. They should be in the Europa League. Not Nottingham Forest. But Palace are in the Conference League. And then finally, Alexander Isak, the ostracised Newcastle striker. I say ostracised. He's ostracised himself through his antics. He has said that he will never represent Newcastle again. He is, quote, adamant he will never represent Newcastle again. And at this point, he's training with the reserves anyway, or he's training on his own. And I think he went back to one of his old clubs to train for a bit as well. They might as well sell him at this point. Stevenage have got to go back. They were 3-0 down at Charlton Athletic, but Lewis Freestone has got to go back. It's 3-1 at the Valley between Charlton Athletic and Stevenage in the League Cup. Still 1-1 in our game of the day between Gillingham and AFC Wimbledon. And they've confirmed it there, the half-time in extra time between Slovan Bratislava, but it's actually in the second half of extra time right now, so they're a little bit behind where I am, but in reporting, but it is the second half. It's 1-0 between Slovan Bratislava and Kairat Almaty. It's 1-1 on aggregate. And full times coming in from the Scottish Challenge Cup. That, remember, is their equivalent of the EFL Trophy. Shelbourne are now 3-1 down. And there's a goal at the racecourse ground. Wrexham have got to go back. They were 3-1 down. It's the 91st minute. Wrexham 2, Hull City 3. And Ollie Palmer with the goal. Is it too little too late? Most likely. Most likely too little too late in that one. Wrexham 2. Hull City 3. Ollie Palmer with the 91st minute goal in that one. And I've got a bug on one of my lights. Brilliant. Full time, Brackley Town 2, Blackburn under-21s 0 in the National League Cup. Confirmation of that Wrexham goal for you on the 91st minute. And a few full times coming in from Scotland, including Celtic's reserves winning in the Challenge Cup. And Wrexham have a chance here. They're in the ascendancy against Hull. They've just scored a second goal. Could they get an equaliser and force? Do they have extra time in the EFL Cup, or does it go straight to penalties? It's 3-3. Ollie Palmer has scored again within the space of 1 minute. Well, within the space of 2 minutes, they've got 2 goals. Wrexham 3, Hull City 3. Ollie Palmer 91st and 92nd minute goals for Ollie Palmer. So does that one go to extra time or do they go to penalties? Ollie Palmer, a substitute off the bench. A 33-year-old with a goal. Wrexham 3, Hull City 3. Not long left in that one either. It's finished Chesterfield 0, Mansfield 2. We're approaching the 80th minute in the Bromley-Ipswich match, which is 1-1 at the moment. Red Star Belgrade's still 1-0 up despite 10 men against Lech Poznan, but they're going through anyway. They're 4-1 up in aggregate in the Champions League Qualifier. We will confirm all the full times for you in a moment. And that Bromley game is still going to be ongoing, so we will wait for that to finish before we love you and leave you. Grimsby Town are 3-1 up against Shrewsbury, so they're definitely heading through to the second round of the League Cup. Jay's Caviar with the 92nd minute goal. Grimsby Town 3, Shrewsbury Town 1. It's still 1-1 in our game of the day between Gillingham and AFC Wimbledon. The Battle of the Hamptons finished in favour of South. Northampton Town 0, Southampton 1. A goal for Harrogate, they're at home, and a goal for Wycombe. Wycombe may have just nicked it against Leyton Orient. On the 94th minute, they've just gone 1-0 up away in London, and Harrogate get a goal back on the 95th minute through Ellis Taylor, but they are going to be 3-1 losers against Lincoln City. So on the 94th minute, Wycombe Wanderers have taken the lead against Leyton Orient. And it's an own goal as well from Jack Simpson. Oh, your own player putting it in your own net. Extra time between Salford and Rotherham. Then Portsmouth have a chance to get a goal back. They're 2-0 down at home to Reading here. They're the ones in the ascendancy. Can they get a goal? Portsmouth and Reading. There's potential news from that one. Extra time then between Salford and Rotherham, Stoke and Walsall. Portsmouth have got a goal back against Reading, where it's Portsmouth 1, Reading 2. It's a 93rd minute goal. Too little, maybe too late. We said that about Wrexham though, and they ended up equalising 3-3, and it's not full time yet, so extra time not going to happen just yet. Let's hold our horses on that one. But Portsmouth have got a goal back, and it is Olatayo Singer with the goal on the 93rd minute. Portsmouth 1, Reading 2 then. Extra time then between Salford City and Rotherham United. Stoke City 0, Walsall 0. Wycombe have just taken the lead through a Leyton Orient own goal. Maybe it's too little too late for Portsmouth. You never know. Swindon still 2-1 down, but still playing away at Cardiff. Charlton 3, Stevenage 1. Extra time in our game of the day, which is carrying on. Gillingham 1, AFC Wimbledon 1. It's finished Plymouth 3, QPR 2. So we're going to stay with it as long as we can. Salford City, extra time for them. Bristol City 2-0 winners at home to MK Dons. Oh, sorry, it goes straight to penalties, doesn't it? No extra time. So it's penalties between Rotherham, Salford City and Rotherham. And it will be penalties between Gillingham and Wimbledon. But it's penalties right now between Salford City and Rotherham United. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Joel Ward has equalised for Derby County on the 96th minute, forcing penalties potentially for that one. West Bromwich Albion 1, Derby County 1. Penalties between Salford and Rotherham United. Penalties between Gillingham and AFC Wimbledon. And potentially penalties between West Bromwich Albion and Derby after that Derby equaliser. And Wrexham and Hull, 3-3 at the moment, potentially going to penalties, as well as Bromley and Ipswich, although Bromley and Ipswich still have 8 minutes left to play. Extra time, second half between Slovan Bratislava and Karat Almaty in the Champions League, 1-1 on aggregate still. Benfica 2-0 up against Nice in the Champions League, and Red Star Belgrade 1-0 up against Lech Poznan with 10 men, but 4-1 up on aggregate and definitely heading through. So, we have penalties then. And Salford have missed their first penalty, unfortunately for them. Boo-hoo. Thomas Edwards misses the penalty. And Rotherham United's Joe Powell converts. So it is 1-0 to Rotherham United on penalties. It's 1-1 on penalties between Gillingham and AFC Wimbledon as well. Second penalty for Salford. They're stepping up, hoping to get an equaliser. First penalty, Max Clark for Gillingham. And then responded and answered by AFC Wimbledon. Max Clark with the first penalty for Gillingham. Luke Garbutt has levelled it on penalties for Salford City, 1-1. Can't believe that. Joe Powell gave Rotherham United the lead. Rotherham United have the advantage in that one. 1-1 on penalties between Gillingham and AFC Wimbledon. Matthew Stevens with the first penalty converted for AFC Wimbledon. Rotherham United convert their second penalty, as you can see on the video printer. And it is Jack Holmes with the penalty. Salford taking their third penalty. And Woodburn has levelled it. Benjamin Woodburn on penalties, 2-2. But Rotherham United, that was Salford's third penalty. Rotherham United are just about to take their third penalty. Williams has missed for Gillingham. Jonathan Williams missing that penalty. So it remains 1-1 whilst AFC Wimbledon go to take their second penalty. So advantage to AFC Wimbledon in that one. We're going to have penalties between West Brom and Derby, as well as Wrexham and Hull City. Elsewhere, Accrington 2, Peterborough 1, Blackburn 1, Bradford 2, and it's Charlton 3, Stevenage 1. Salford. Oh no, Rotherham United have missed their third penalty. AFC Wimbledon have the advantage. Josh Kelly converts the second penalty for Wimbledon, so it's 2-1 in favour of Wimbledon against Gillingham. Rotherham United, it's 2-2 on penalties against Salford. Daniel Gore missing the third penalty for Rotherham United, so Salford will step up and take their fourth penalty to get the lead back and see if we can get an advantage for either his team now that Rotherham United have missed a penalty. Elsewhere, West Brom and Derby yet to kick off on penalties, neither Hull and Wrexham. Back to the Gillingham game where it's 2-2 on penalties. Gillingham having missed one, but Robbie McKenzie making it 2-2 on Gillingham's third penalty. And AFC Wimbledon about to step up for their third penalty. And Salford have missed another penalty. Their fourth penalty has been missed. George Grant. Borgate Grant with the miss. So the last two penalties have been missed in that one. Salford 2. Rotherham 3 now, because the 4th penalty for Rotherham United, Denzel Hall has put it away. So Rotherham back in front. Wimbledon 3-2 up on penalties against Gillingham. Miles Hippolyte with the 3rd penalty, and Gillingham have missed another one. Andrews. So the 4th penalty for Wimbledon will potentially win it for them, as Josh Andrews has missed another penalty for Gillingham. Advantage. I was telling you Denzel Hall had scored a penalty for Rotherham. Well, Salford have missed a 3rd, their 5th and final penalty. Kelly Enmai missing the penalty. Rotherham United win after penalties. It finished 3-2 on penalties in favour of Rotherham United. Rotherham United didn't even have to take their 5th penalty in the end. So Gillingham have missed 2 penalties against Wimbledon. The 4th penalty is on the way. It's 1-1 on penalties between Wrexham and Hull City. McLean with the goal, with the penalty, first penalty for Wrexham. Casey Palmer with the equalising penalty for Hull. For West Brom, Derby are 1-0 up against them. They've taken the first penalty at the moment. The first penalty for West Brom about to be taken. Kenzo Gudjman with the penalty for Derby. And Wrexham are... not Wrexham, Wimbledon are heading through to the next round. They've won on penalties by 4-2. 4 perfect penalties for AFC Wimbledon. Alistair Smith with the penalty converted, so it has finished. Gillingham 2, AFC Wimbledon 4 on penalties. So Wimbledon going through in that one. West Brom have missed their penalty against Derby. Elliot Lee has scored for Wrexham to give them a 2-1 advantage. I say an advantage, not really an advantage. They've converted their 2nd penalty as Hull City are about to take theirs. But West Brom have missed their first penalty, Jed Wallace. And Derby immediately missed their 2nd penalty. So it's not advantage to Derby. Bradford City getting a 2-1 win away at Blackburn. Was that a penalty? That wasn't a penalty shootout, was it? So Wimbledon winning on penalties. Stoke and Walsall also going to penalties. And it looks like Bromley and Ipswich will also go to penalties. Wrexham have scored their 3rd penalty as Hull City missed their 2nd. Josh Windass with the penalty converted for Wrexham. So it's 3-1 in favour of the team at the Racecourse Ground. Second penalty for West Bromwich Albion, having missed 1 and then Derby missing the corresponding penalty. But at the moment, Wrexham 3, Hull City 1 on penalties. And Hull City have converted penalty number 3, so it is 3-2 with Abu Kamara converting the penalty. And West Brom have missed another penalty in a row. Josh Marger. They've missed 2 penalties. That's 3 penalties in a row, because West Brom have missed 2. Derby have missed 1. It is still 1-0 in favour of Derby County on penalties. It's 1-1 between Stoke and Walsall on penalties. Walsall taking the first one. And Jamil Matt with the penalty converted. And then Lewis Baker scoring and converting Stoke City's first penalty. But Walsall have missed their 2nd penalty, so it's advantage to Stoke in that one. It's 4-3 in favour. Sorry, it's 4-2 in favour of Wrexham against Hull. Ollie Palmer with the penalty converted successfully Wrexham having converted 4. Hull have converted 2, but they've just converted a third. So it is 4-3. So Wrexham have to score this to go through. Ryan Giles with the penalty converted. Derby 2-0 up on penalties away at West Brom. Caden Jackson. And West Brom finally, at the third attempt, score a penalty. And Wrexham are through. A game that they were losing at one point, they will now win 5-3 on penalties. Wrexham are heading through. Stoke are 2-1 up on penalties against Walsall, with Johnny Stuttle missing his penalty, the second penalty for Walsall. It is 2-2 because Walsall have just converted their third. That bastard Aidan Flint. That bastard converting his penalty. It's 2-2, but Stoke City have an advantage in that one. So Wrexham win 4-3 on penalties. They're heading through. Derby have missed a second penalty, and it's Joe Ward, that's missed the penalty, which could, if West Brom can do it, get that all-important equaliser. We're approaching full-time in the Bromley-Ipswich match. Can West Brom level it? Stoke City have missed their third penalty, so it's 2-2 between Stoke City and Walsall. It's I say advantage, it's not really, as both teams will go for their fourth penalties. So with Joe Ward missing for Derby, can West Brom convert their fourth penalty and make it 2-2? No one likes Aidan Flint at Swindon. After what he said about the club, and he may have had something to do with that. Scrap. Walsall have converted their fourth penalty. So, advantage to them, but Stoke about to take their fourth penalty. If they don't convert it, then, of course, very much advantage to Walsall in that one. West Brom have levelled it on penalties, 2-2. Jason Mulumbi. 2-2 after 2 missed penalties from both teams in that one. Derby about to take their fifth penalty to basically reset things, as Walsall have converted their fourth penalty, and so have Stoke City in that one. So it's 3-3 on aggregate after 4 penalties. Jun Ho Bei with the penalty for Stoke City. So Walsall on course to take their fifth penalty. Adams has scored for Derby, their fifth penalty. Ebu Adams, 3-2. West Brom to take their fifth penalty. See if we can get an advantage there. Walsall have missed their fifth penalty. So advantage to Stoke City. It's sudden death basically there. So if Stoke can score their fifth penalty, then they are through. West Brom have missed. Carlin Grant misses the fifth penalty. Derby are through as 3-2 winners on penalties. So Albert Adoma misses the fifth penalty for Walsall. And Stoke City have scored 4 out of 5 to Walsall's 3 out of 5. Stoke City are through. Jack Bonham with the converted penalty. Stoke City 4. Walsall 3 on penalty. So Stoke City heading through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. Just one penalty shootout left in the EFL Cup, and that is Bromley and Ipswich, who drew 1-1 in the end. So penalties to be taken there. They're having a little bit of a break, working things out before the penalties are going to be taken. Whilst they're working that out, we will bring you a full-time roundup. Penalties also in the Champions League between Slovan Bratislava and Karet Almaty, a 1-1 draw after aggregate, so it will be penalties. The penalty shootout. Then in that one. Just waiting for penalties to kick off between Bromley and Ipswich. So I don't really want to miss anything. So I don't really want to take my eye off that game. Lech Poznan did get an equaliser against Red Star Belgrade, but it was too little too late, and they won 4-2 on aggregate despite the 10 men. So Red Star Belgrade through to the next round of Champions League qualifying. So, penalties in the Champions League between Slovan Bratislava and Karet Almaty. Also penalties between Bromley and Ipswich as well. So, from what I understand, it's 1-1 on penalties between Bromley and Ipswich. George Hurst has had his penalty saved. So advantage to Bromley. So that was their first penalty actually for Ipswich. Hurst has had his penalty saved. Second penalty for Bromley. So it's a 1-1 at full time. George Hurst has had his penalty saved. Bottom left corner by Sam Long, the Bromley keeper. We'll keep an eye on the start of the penalty shootout in the Champions League between Slovan Bratislava and Karet Almaty of Kazakhstan. Second, and the first penalty for Bromley has been converted. Michael Cheek for Bromley converts the penalty with a right-footed shot to the top left corner. Bromley 1-0 up on penalties against Ipswich Town, to the League Two side, potentially knocking out the Championship club here. Champions League, we're going to switch over because penalties just beginning between Slovan Bratislava and Karet Almaty. So, and Marko Tolic with the first penalty converted for Slovan Bratislava. Cooley converts the first penalty kick. And it's off his right foot and into the back of the net. Ipswich's Sam Simodik with the second penalty converts it with a right-footed shot to the bottom left corner. 1-1. Ipswich have scored their second penalty, but will Bromley, they're about to step up for their second penalty. Slovan Bratislava versus Karet Almaty. Karet Almaty about to take their first penalty, and apparently it has not gone well for them. Valery Gromyinko for Karet Almaty has missed his penalty. He placed the ball on the penalty spot, sends it to the left post. His effort isn't powerful enough, and Takak, the goalkeeper, stops the ball from going in. Slovan Bratislava have the advantage in that one. Penalty saved by Ashley Charles of Ipswich. Ashley Charles of Bromley. Right-footed shot saved to the bottom right corner by Christian Walton. So the advantage cancelled out there as Ipswich prepared to take their third penalty. So penalty kick ends up in the back of the net for Slovan Bratislava. Peter Pokorny with the Penalty high into the top left corner. Bromley. Back to Bromley Ipswich. Ben Johnson of Ipswich converts the penalty with a right-footed shot into the bottom right corner. So Ipswich are 2-1 up on penalties in that one. Alexander Martrinovic executes a perfect penalty for Kairat El Mati in the Champions League. So it is 2-1 in that one. Jude Arthurs from Bromley converts the penalty with a right-footed shot. It's 2-2 between Bromley and Ipswich in the EFL Cup. A penalty shootout, bottom right corner. The ball went in. 2-1 in the Champions League on penalties between Slovan Bratislava and Kairat Almaty in favour of the Slovakian side. Ipswich convert their fourth penalty, and it's Ashley Young, a familiar face to and a familiar name to many Premier League fans. Right-footed shot in, and it's advantage Ipswich again. Slovan Bratislava wins the Battle of Wills for the next penalty. And they've converted their third penalty. Of course, Kairat Almaty have had one saved, so it is 3-1. So they have to, Kairat Almaty, they have to score their next penalty to try and keep pace. Bromley stepping up to take their fourth penalty. Kairat Almaty, by the way, have scored their third penalty. It's 3-2 there in favour of Slovan Bratislava. Next penalty for Bromley. It's for Kairat Almaty, it's Richardinho who put it away. And Bromley have converted it. Idris Odeteo with a left-footed shot. It is 3-3 on penalties between Bromley and Ipswich. And a save in the Champions League. Slovan Bratislava's Alan Mustafic has wasted the penalty and the advantage. He attempts to slot the ball into the bottom left corner, but it was a great save from Kairat Almaty's goalkeeper. Ipswich have converted their fifth penalty. Connor Chaplin converts the penalty with a left-footed shot into the top left corner. We're in sudden death in that match. Can Bromley get that equalising penalty from their fifth one? And they have Mitch Binnock converts the penalty with a left-footed shot into the bottom left corner as well. So it is 4-4. It is sudden death between Bromley and Ipswich. And it is Igor Surikin who has levelled it for Kairat Almaty on penalties against Slovan Bratislava. Superb penalty kick. And it is on penalties 4-4, I believe, in that one, in that Champions League clash. Penalty saved by Ali Al-Habdi of Ipswich Town. Right-footed shot, bottom corner, blocked. Advantage Bromley. Advantage Bromley indeed. The sixth penalty then. Can Bromley convert it and go through and knock Ipswich Town of the Championship out of the EFL Cup? And Slovan Bratislava are out. Tigran Beshigi couldn't convert the spot kick, putting it wide. And Jorginho of Kairat Almaty scores. And Slovan Bratislava are out of the Champions League on penalties. And Marcus Ifil has converted the penalty for Bromley. It has finished in favour of Bromley on penalties then. Whoosh. Goodness me. Bromley win on penalties. So Bromley are through. Ipswich Town are out. It finished 5-4 in favour of Bromley on penalties. Oh, that means we can give you a full-time classified after that penalty shootout. That is exactly what we're going to do. Starting with the UEFA Champions League. These are your full times then. Starting with the UEFA Champions League. Karabakh 5, Shenjia 1, 6-1 win on aggregate. For Karabakh, they're through to the next round. Fenerbahce 5, Feyenoord 2. Fenerbahce win 6-4 on aggregate. FC Copenhagen 5, Malmo 0. Copenhagen win 5-0 on aggregate. Paphos 2, Dynamo Kyiv 0. Paphos win 3-0 on aggregate. Victoria Pilsen 2, Rangers 1. 2-4 on aggregate in favour of Rangers. Club Brugge 3, Red Bull Salzburg 2. It results a Club Brugge 4-2 victory on aggregate. Ferencvaros 3, Ludogorets 0. 3-0 win for Ferencvaros on aggregate. After penalties, Slovan Bratislava 1, Kairat Almaty 0. 1-1 on aggregate. Kairat Almaty win 4-3 on penalties. Benfica 2, Nice 0. Benfica win 4-0 on aggregate. Red Star Belgrade 1, Lech Poznan 1. Red Star Belgrade winning 4-2 on aggregate. EFL Cup first round. Swansea City 3, Crawley Town 1. Barrow 0, Preston North End 1. Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 4. Newport County 0, Millwall 1. Stockport County 3, Crewe Alexandra 1. Accrington Stanley 2, Peterborough United 1. Blackburn Rovers 1, Bradford City 2. Blackpool 0, Port Vale 1. Bristol City 2, Milton Keynes Dons 0. Bristol Rovers 0, Cambridge United 2. Cardiff City 2, Swindon Town 1. Charlton Athletic 3, Stevenage 1. Chesterfield 0, Mansfield Town 2. Coventry City 1, Luton Town 0. Gillingham 1, AFC Wimbledon 1. AFC Wimbledon win 4-2 on penalties. Grimsby Town 3, Shrewsbury Town 1. Harrogate Town 1, Lincoln City 3. Leyton Orient 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1. Northampton Town 0, Southampton 1. Oxford United 1, Colchester United 0. Plymouth Argyle 3, Queen's Park Rangers 2. Portsmouth 1, Reading 2. Salford City 0, Rotherham United 0. Rotherham United win 3-2 on penalties to advance to the next round. Stoke City 0, Walsall 0. Stoke City win 4-3 on penalties to advance to the next round. Tranmere Rovers, Burton Albion match postponed due to a power outage at Prenton Park. Watford 1, Norwich City 2. West Bromwich Albion 1, Derby County 1. Derby County win 3-2 on penalties to advance. Wigan Athletic 1, Notts County 0. Wrexham 3, Hull City 3. Wrexham win 5-3 on penalties to advance to the next round. And Bromley 1, Ipswich Town 1. Bromley win 5-4 on penalties to advance to the next round. National League Cup. Solihull Moors 1, Everton under-21s 2. Brackley Town 2, Blackburn Rovers under-21s 0. Boreham Wood 2, Nottingham Forest under-21s 0. Braintree Town 2, Leicester City under-21s 0. Wealdstone 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers under-21s 1. Aldershot Town 1, Brighton and Hove Albion under-21s 2. Sutton United 0, Fulham under-21s 7. Boston United 4, Leeds under-21s 0. Scunthorpe United 2, Sunderland under-21s 3. Scottish Challenge Cup. Clyde 1, Celtic Reserves 3. Cove Rangers 1, Spartans 1. Dumbarton 5, St Mirren's Reserves 2. East Fife 4, Hearts of Midlothian Reserves 1. East Kilbride 3, Queen of the South 1. Elgin City 1, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 4. Forfar Athletic 1, Hibernian Reserves 0. Kelty Hearts 1, Annan Athletic 0. Montrose 5, Dundee Reserves 2. Peterhead 4, Aberdeen Reserves 2. Stenhouse Muir 2, Rangers Reserves 1. Stirling Albion 0, Dundee United Reserves 3. Stranraer 2, Alloa Athletic 1. Well, that has it. That confirms it. We are done and dusted for this evening. Thank you very much for joining me for this near 3-hour stream. Thank you very much if you joined us for the penalties at whatever point. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Score Special. The outro bit will say Score Saturday or Saturday Score, or whichever it is. It's Score Saturday because we don't have a graphics department. It's just me, and I couldn't be bothered. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.